Breaking news! Things are heating up behind the scenes at Buffalo Bills. With the NFL draft officially over, the pieces are on the board, and the moves behind the scenes are getting crazy. The future of the franchise is being shaped right now, and the excitement is off the charts. But before we dive deeper, smash that like button if you believe the Bills have what it takes to reach the next Super Bowl. Honestly, I believe in them so much. If you believe too, drop it in the comments. Go Bills! I believe! We made it, Mafia. 3 intense days, 72 relentless hours of pure adrenaline, uncertainty, and hope poured into the 2025 NFL Draft. And now, looking at the Buffalo Bills Hall, it's impossible not to feel that electric buzz in the air. Stay with me, because what we just witnessed could shape the next decade of Bills football, and trust me, there's a lot you'll want to unpack before we're done here. Let's dive straight into it. No warm-ups, no stretching, straight to the heart of the action. The Buffalo Bills draft class of 2025 opened with a bang, Maxwell Hairston. Now, if you've been riding with us for a while, you know I've been screaming from the rooftops that we needed a true CB2 next to Christian Benford. And the Bills answered. Maxwell Hairston, despite his shoulder injury that cut his 2024 short, brings elite zone coverage skills to the table. This guy is a 5 feet 10 inches, 183-pound ball hawk, a pure technician at corner. He sees the field with almost psychic anticipation, understands leverage, and knows exactly when to jump a route. In my rankings, Hairston was CB3 behind Johnny Barron and Will Johnson. And when Will Johnson's knee injury sent him sliding to the 4th round, it was clear Hairston shot up to that CB2 spot. His skill set, off the charts. His instinct, next level. And teaming him up with Benford, fresh off his 4-year, $76 million extension, is like pairing a scalpel with a sledgehammer. Precision meets force. I gave this pick an A-. It's that good. But it didn't stop there. The second big splash was TJ Sanders, defensive tackle. At first glance, maybe a reach. He's not the fastest guy out there, sure. But rewind the tape, watch closely, and suddenly you see it. The raw power, the twitch in his first step, the immovable 6 feet 3 inches, 305-pound frame. Dane Brugler from The Athletic called him a long, twitchy big man, the kind who can wreck backfields once his technical game catches up to his physical gifts. I bumped my initial grade from B- to a straight B. Why? Because Sanders is a quiet storm waiting to explode midway through 2025. Patience will pay off with this one. And now, brace yourselves, because the next guy, Landon Jackson, my favorite pick of this entire draft. If you're looking for a player who lives and breathes chaos on the defensive line, Jackson's your man. 6 feet 6 inches, 264 pounds, with 49 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, and 35 pressures last season. He's a bull rusher, a human freight train who could develop into a nightmare for quarterbacks. Is he raw? Absolutely. Needs to develop more pass rushing moves beyond sheer strength. But the ceiling? Astronomical. Teach him a spin or swim move, and you're staring at a 10-plus sack monster for years. Pair him up with Ed Oliver, A.J. Epineza, Joey Bosa, and Terrell Bernard. Good luck, AFC East. Still with me? Good, because the next chapter in this story might just be the most intriguing. Enter Dion Walker, defensive tackle out of Kentucky. Now, on paper, Walker's 6 feet 7 inches, 328-pound frame is the stuff of nightmares for opposing offensive lines. A literal wall. His upper body strength is absurd, and his ability to anchor against the run is elite. But, and it's a big but, that back injury he suffered at Kentucky is concerning. Very concerning. When your back goes, mobility goes with it, and that's a risk you can't ignore. That's why he slid into the 4th round despite 3rd-round talent. I slapped a C++ grade on this one, cautious optimism, but a wary eye on medical reports. Recapping quickly, Hairston, Sanders, Jackson, and Walker. A-, B, A, C++. That's a pretty damn good day 1 and day 2 haul by Brendan Bean and Sean McDermott, especially when you realize they hit every positional need we had: corner, edge, defensive tackle. That's surgical precision in drafting. But the Bills didn't stop there. Late round magic was brewing too. One name you need to know, Dorian Strong. Long and, not kidding, strong. Dane Brugler had huge praise for Strong's instincts and competitive fire. He's a quick, heady player with the grit to succeed, even if he doesn't have elite foot speed or twitch. Could be a future nickel option, and you can never have too many battle-tested corners in today's NFL. Maybe not a week 1 starter, but when injuries hit, Dorian Strong could be a critical piece. Now, let's be real for a second. Some of the other late picks? Pure depth. Jackson Haw, tight end, basically a 6th offensive lineman. Blocking, no real receiving upside. Chase Lunt, backup depth on the O-line behind Dion Dawkins, insurance more than anything. And Mr. Irrelevant for the Bills, Caden Prather, practice squad candidate, maybe occasional WR5 duties if the stars align. But none of that dims the shine from what Buffalo accomplished at the top of this draft. You can see the blueprint being laid down. Big, mean, physical. The kind of players who not only win games, they dominate at the point of attack. You can almost smell the strategy. Build a fortress around Josh Allen on both sides of the ball, lock down receivers, and unleash hell on opposing quarterbacks. Now, Mafia, this is where I hand the mic to you. I'm giving this draft an overall grade of A-. Would have been a solid A if we grabbed a wide receiver a bit earlier, but looking at our biggest needs, knocked it out of the park. But I want your take. Grab your red pen. Grade the 2025 Buffalo Bills draft in the comments right now. A, B, C, and most importantly, why? I'll be reading every single one. Let's build this conversation, Mafia. Because if this draft class lives up to its potential, the Lombardi might just be coming home sooner than we think. And while you're dropping your grades, think about the bigger picture. This isn't just about filling roster spots. This is about identity. This is about a team that has stared heartbreak in the face season after season, taking bold, aggressive steps to make sure the next time they're in striking distance of a Super Bowl, they finish the job. Maxwell Hairston stepping onto the field across from Christian Benford instantly upgrades our secondary. Think about the AFC East right now. Tua, Aaron Rodgers, if he stays healthy, whoever the Patriots try to patch together. You better have corners who can disrupt timing, who can bait quarterbacks into mistakes, and who can capitalize with turnovers. Hairston is that guy. He's smart, he's aggressive, and he's got that Buffalo blue-collar toughness in his DNA. You could almost feel the air shift in the room when his name was called. It wasn't just another pick. It was a statement. And what about TJ Sanders? Picture this, 3rd and short, AFC Championship game, hostile territory, the crowd going insane. You need a wall in the middle of your defense, someone who simply refuses to get moved off his spot. Sanders is that guy. He's not flashy. He's not going to trend on TikTok, but he will win battles in the trenches. And that, my friends, is how you win championships when the weather turns cold and the stakes are sky high. And Landon Jackson, I can't say enough about what a steal this could turn out to be. He's the kind of player that offensive coordinators have to circle in red marker when they're game planning. How do we stop 6 feet 6 inches, 264 pounds of pure fury coming off the edge? The honest answer might be, you can't. You can only hope to slow him down. If he refines his technique even a little, if he even gets one pass rush move to complement his natural strength, he could explode onto the scene like few young pass rushers do. In 2 years, we might be talking about Jackson in the same breath as the league's best. And listen, the Dion Walker pick might have some of you uneasy. And I get it. Injuries scare me too, especially back injuries. They don't just heal, they linger. They pop up at the worst possible times. But if, and it's a big if, Walker can stay healthy, you've got a literal immovable object at defensive tackle. Imagine lining him up next to Ed Oliver or across from Joey Bosa. Good luck double teaming anyone when you have that mini wreck